Hello and welcome to the Pop Culture Jungle, where we talk about everything and anything in pop culture that we feel like talking about. Joining me this week, like normal, is Justin.
Hello, I was typing.
What is Esgot?
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm even on the wrong screen. Look at me. I'm not even on the right one. I should be down here on this one, which changes my point of view. Anywho, what? Well, no, because it takes away the chat bar that's on the normal screen here, so it balances me out better. And it'd be kind of odd with the chat bar so small in the middle or on the side of my screen, especially when we get into other screens.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna get started into this. We've got a couple articles, and then we'll end it off with the review of Ironheart.
Oh yeah.
Or as Justin put it, as a heads up to his statement, Iron Mid. Yes, I saw that earlier. Yeah. I have already opinions and thoughts. We'll hold them off. We're gonna wait on them.
Yeah.
I've been waiting to talk about this all day. I woke up. Hold on. Story time. I woke up at 3 a.m. wide awake, laid in bed, couldn't fall back asleep. So at 4, I was like, "Oh yeah," that's when I finally saw your text message. I was like, "Oh yeah, I guess I have homework." So I watched for the 3 hours before going to work Ironheart. And I was sitting there going, why am I watching this right now when I could be playing video games or doing anything else and having a good time? That's my story. Thank you for joining me. Anywho, Universal announces Horror Unleashed coming to Chicago.
Oh yeah.
The Universal Destinations and Experiences, the themed entertainment division of Comcast NBC Universal, has announced plans for a second Horror Unleashed year-round scare venue coming to Chicago. This builds upon the first Horror Unleashed venue planned to open on August 14th in Las Vegas. And the announcement. Why do I feel like this is bound at this point to become another Disney Quest?
We'll see. Because, like,
let me remind you, the prototype's not even open yet in one of the busiest tourist cities in the world.
Yeah, we'll see. I get what you're saying,
though. Universal Distribution and Experience is the theme entertainment division of Comcast. Announced its second location for Universal Horror Unleashed. The company's year-round immersive experience, entertainment experience. The new indoor venue will open in Chicago, chosen for its large population and reputation of one of the country's leading destinations for tourism and entertainment. The same reason that Disney Quest went there. Expanding the Universal Horror Unleashed brand is a key part of Universal's broader growth strategy. I'm having a hard time tonight. To reach new audiences in new markets, through new and original concepts. The upcoming venue will be located on Chicago Avenue at the former Tribune Distribution Center, situated between River North and West Town Districts. This marks Universal's first branded experience in the Midwest. Yeah, I don't know anything else really into that we need to talk about yet.
I don't think there really is anything else.
Let's do this. I want to do this. We're going on a little side tangent. Okay, this is for Hollywood. How much are tickets? Okay, better question. Because now I see them, but how much for just a Horror Nights year-round experience do you think tickets should be in these cities? Because remember, especially in the Chicago case, they're planning on locals coming often.
Mm-hmm. For a single run through, say you walk up, you go through once. 20, I think, is fair.
Okay. What about a unlimited access pass?
For how long?
I don't know. It does not tell me. I'm assuming it's a year, but it's only valid on select dates and times.
Okay, then 150 to 200.
Okay. So on the limited, you're higher than what they're saying of what their starting price is. Let me explain. Let me say.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at the pricing for Vegas.
It's already up?
It's already up.
Okay.
So
Okay.
for a non-resident, it's starts at $69 a person. A resident starts at $59 a person.
Okay.
And then unlimited access starts at $99 a person.
Okay. And that's per.
We're gonna go buy a general admission one-time access for us.
I would assume that gives you one run through of each house, which I was saying 20 per house.
Okay,
is what I was saying.
See, I misunderstood that. I took that as you were saying it was $20
for the whole thing. Oh no.
Okay, so for August, there is no 69. They're all 89 or 79. September, no. You need to update this thing. November on a Monday.
Because you're in haunt season now.
Okay, so all December is 69.
Yeah, because you're in haunt season now.
It also dies in Vegas around this period.
Yeah.
Because January it picks back up.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not as many 69s again. So let's just do November 3rd, I believe, a $69 ticket. We'll do one person, select. 2 p.m., I guess. All tickets are sold by date and time based on limited capacity. Prices vary by date. Variance is not recommended for children under the age of 13. Costume subject to costume policy. No costume mask allowed. Universal Horror Unleashed. My headset's almost dead. I think they were dead.
Uh-oh.
I just started charging them, so we'll see if this can stay on while plugged in. 1 second. I think it's still going. Can you talk?
I'm talking.
Yep, you're good.
Okay. Okay, so the one ticket gives you access to all 4 houses along with entertainment areas and then food and drink offerings as well.
Well, but this is Area 15. Like the rest of that space is all free.
Yeah.
It's $69 for the 4 houses,
which I think is fair. I would pay $69 to go through all those houses.
But see, I'm still so I agree on the pricing. I think the pricing's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's sustainable.
Okay.
Universal's very good about doing a lot of actors and a lot of scare actors to make it work very well. And there's a lot of people to run it. I think in Vegas, as a one-off, it would be fine because you have so much continuous tourism traffic to Vegas.
Yeah.
Who are looking for weird things all the time anyways. again, you have the largest adult museum in Vegas. Why? Who knows? But it's there, right next to the largest mobster museum, because they're both connected. I don't see an experience like this working in Chicago. I see this being like Disney Quest. Disney Quest was very popular on the first month, but then the local residents, again, because of pricing, priced themselves out of it.
Okay, sorry, I did more research.
Yeah, go for it.
Unlimited gives you unlimited access to each house, so you get to go through them multiple times.
So it's $100 a day?
Yeah, it's $100 a day.
Oh.
Well, okay. So instead of paying the $69 and being able to only go through each house once, you can go through each of the houses as many times as you'd like. Is the difference.
No, and I get that. It's just initially I was thinking if it was like $100 for a pass for a year or something, then that would be extremely reasonable. That would help it. $100.
Okay, I'm gonna put it to you in this perspective.
Go for it.
People like you and me, who would make content out of it, would do the $100.
Correct.
To do multiple takes, quote unquote, in case we get a bad shift change.
Yes. However, how many regular guests are going to buy that, and how many locals are going to spend $100?
Oh, locals won't do
it continuously, and how many locals are going to spend $69 to do 4 houses? That's probably 30 minutes if there's no line.
Mm-hmm.
That's an expense of $80 realistically, because once you at the $69, the Nevada live entertainment tax is $6.21 on that price.
Yeah,
which brings it to $75 a person. I don't know if that's sustainable. For Vegas, it's going to be better off because it's going to have the anchor of Area 15.
Yes.
But the offshoot of Chicago, unless they're putting it next to some anchor I don't know about, I don't see that surviving.
Well, this is all based off of the assumption that it's the same price as Vegas.
That is true. That is true. But I don't know for the amount of they normally do with these. Because again, they're gonna have to still pay for IP along the way. I don't know if they can go much lower than that.
Yeah.
That's a good price. It's not a long experience, but again, if you have something else to balance it off, that's fine. I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to keep watching it, see how it develops, and very much watch when Vegas opens and see how that does.
Mm-hmm.
Because
will you be going out to Vegas when it opens, George?
I won't go through it. I might go out to Vegas. But here's a question. I know you're not as big in Universal as others that we know.
Mm-hmm.
But sorry, 1 second. Is it this side? It's this side. So Hollywood, we had The Walking Dead year round.
Yes.
And that was kind of a scare house. Yes?
Yes. Yes.
During the off season, how well did it do?
As far as I'm aware, not great, obviously.
Yeah, see, and that's where, if I'm thinking Horror Nights, that'd be where I'm thinking it's Universal.
Yeah.
We're now putting a separate place that, yes, it's going to, the first few months are going to be totally fine because everybody's going to go see it, to see what they did. But can it live past that period? I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, if anywhere it could, it'd be Vegas, because Vegas already has such weird, expensive hobbies. But Chicago, I don't know if there's enough demand up there for it. It's interesting. It'll be interesting to watch that one go forward. I hope the best for them. I hope they did their proper research. I hope they didn't hire the same guy that did Disney Quest. Anywho, continuing along the way, we have another house. Encounter the underworld flesh eaters waiting to feed new Halloween Horror Nights 2025 house. I love this art.
Ew. Ew.
What?
What's it? What's the house called? Grave of Flesh? Ew.
Isn't it good art though?
Yeah.
Oh, it looks so good. Okay, Universal Orlando Resort has announced another original concept for the upcoming The Grave of Flesh. Guests pass through the gates of the underworld and find flesh eaters waiting to feed. So, here's the full announcement. Welcome to your funeral, where things are about to go from bad to worse. You'll enter your grave and then pass through the gates of the underworld, where flesh eaters who feed on the dead will be waiting for you. Get lost in their cavernous underground world, where an endless gauntlet of flesh-eating creatures will hunt you mercilessly for all eternity. That's a pretty good concept.
Mm-hmm.
I like that concept. We also got the Face Fjord demons and monsters.
Hell yeah.
So, in Gallic Monsters of the North, guests travel to remote northern village and face off with fjord demons, monsters, and other fiends as they try to escape the belly of the beasts. This one is also Universal Orlando. And the full announcement is, in a remote northern village, a wicked being rises from the dead, bringing a horde of monsters and demons from the fjords to wreak havoc on the townspeople. You'll face icy, horned, winged, wolfish fiends that gradually merge into one giant horror. Then you'll try to escape the belly of the beast. It's a cool concept.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's gonna be scary.
Which one was this? I'm gonna like it.
No. I did. Again, it sounds like a cool concept. I like the idea. I don't think it's going to be a scary house.
Yeah. Give me just a moment. There's one more Horror Nights announcement that you don't have.
Oh, well, there we go. This is why we normally go through everything before a show starts.
Yeah. I thought about it as we were discussing Horror Unleash because
Gotcha.
It was announced this morning. That's the wrong account. Great. Ugh!
Should I just grab my Switch and go back to playing Pokemon?
Yeah, my issue is that they made it on. They made the announcement on Instagram, but you can't view Instagram without being signed in.
Well, then sign in. Easy.
Okay, I have it. Share screen. This one. Share. Should be up. Okay. At Midsummer Scream on Sunday, John Murdy, the creative director for Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood, and Michael Ayo, the senior director for Orlando, will both be at Midsummer Scream this year.
Okay.
Usually, we have a Midsummer Scream panel every year. But it's typically only Hollywood, which means this is probably a shared house that they're going to announce there. Which can be a couple things. It can either be the full announcement of FNAF, or it could be Terrifier. So,
I'm gonna lean in on FNAF.
Yeah, because we still haven't gotten the full announcement on it either.
Yeah, we have this confirmation that the Henson Company is working on it.
Yes, and that it's going to be at the event.
Yeah. Moving right along, over at That Park Place, Xbox lay off more of the gaming division as Microsoft cancels the MMORPG and slashes staff. This is not necessarily a good look for Microsoft, especially since the Sarah Bond, what is she again? She is. I read through the president of Xbox.
Yeah, president of Xbox. Yeah.
Came out just a few weeks ago saying the truest measure of any team is not the score, but what they do when things get really, really hard. Or sorry, 2 months ago. And after that, we laid off another. We've laid off a total now of 9,100 employees, about 4% of the total workforce. What?
It's frustrating.
A substantial portion of these cuts targeting the gaming division. The blow was felt across multiple branches, including King, the mobile developer for behind Candy Crush, which is really surprising because Candy Crush still makes bank. Bethesda's London office. These layoffs follow a brutal 18-month stretch for Microsoft's gaming business, making the fourth round of cuts since the company completed its $69 acquisition of Activision Blizzard. While Xbox executives have offered vague reassurances about the company's future, morale within the gaming staff appears to be at a breaking point. In an internal memo, Xbox CEO Phil Spencer attempted to justify the cuts as part of a strategy to, quote, prioritize the strongest opportunities, end quote, while pursuing, quote, strategic growth areas, end quote. Spencer stopped short of naming the projects being cut, but staff are already speaking out and some anonymously about the toll of these decisions are taking. One of the most high-profile casualties of this round of layoffs is the cancellation of the unannounced MMORPG in development in ZeniMax Online Studios, the makers of Elder Scrolls Online. Bloomberg confirms the project shutdown, dealing a blow to fans who had been hoping for a new entity in the genre under the Xbox banner. The layoffs also seem to contradict Xbox narrative of growth and momentum. Just weeks ago, Spencer touted Xbox growing player base, game pipeline, and hardware roadmap as stronger than ever. Yet, under the surface, developers had already begun bracing for more cuts. A source told IGN that fear of layoffs had become the norm, not the exception, and they have reason to worry. Since January 2024, Microsoft now has laid off over 8,000 gaming staff. January 2024 was 1,900 layoffs. Post Redfall Tango closure, hundreds more. September 2024, 650 laid off. May 2025, 6,000 cuts. July 2025, the latest round. Part of the 9,100 company-wide reduction. Your thoughts?
I got nothing to say. This is gross.
This is not good. This does not look good on Microsoft. I think it comes down to, I think they went through growth too fast by acquiring too many companies. The Xbox division always has been the weakest of Microsoft's divisions.
Yeah.
Because remember, they just announced last month that they were partnering up with the ROG Ally for the Ally 2 for the new Xbox handheld.
Mm-hmm.
And cool, you're doing that, but you're cutting all your staff. So is it really you guys are doing good, or is it you're trying to beg at whatever extra cash you can get and hoping the gaming PC handheld is going to do it?
Yeah.
I mean, the PlayStation Portal really didn't sell, so
I mean, that also wasn't a true handheld.
That is true. But again, it's I don't see why at this point for them to try to enter the space.
Yeah.
You already have well-established Steam Deck and every other company's version of it, including the ROG Ally, who all, of course, copied Nintendo with the Switch.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many people are necessarily wanting to play their Xbox games on the go, especially since I think the community that they'd be selling to already all have handheld gaming consoles.
Yeah.
At this point, it's too late, I think. But I don't know. We'll see. I don't see it being super powerful. We haven't seen the full specs yet.
We know the price.
Do we know the price?
Yep. Have you looked it up yet?
I haven't.
Here, let me grab that for you.
ROG Ally 2 Xbox Ally. Here we go. Switch to US. That's fine.
Learn more. Have they hidden it now? What's wrong, George?
I don't see a price yet.
Yeah, they hit it. Oh, we do have specs.
Powered by Windows 11, which, sure. Do we get anything into it? No.
Oh, I guess not a lot of specs, but yes.
There we go. No, okay. So here's the spec tables. Apparently there's going to be an X and a regular version.
Yep.
It's going to have the A, B, X, Y button. That's important. Okay, so AMD Ryzen Z2 Extreme processor or Z2A processor. So good gaming processor. I'm not a fan of AMD, but that's just me. 24 gigs of RAM, 16 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte M.2, 512, 7-inch full high definition, ISP, 500 nits, 120 hertz refresh rate, display port. $80 watts. I really doubt that's going to last long. But no, I don't get a price.
Okay. I swear they had prices listed beforehand.
That's a speculation.
But I guess not.
Let me go to chat GPT.
I swear on my life that they had it more. They had it beforehand.
Yes, or yes, go dig the web. So that's the current, which is still expensive. No, so there is nothing out. So the current ROG Ally Z1 Extreme 512, okay?
Yeah.
Is priced between, depending on your specs of it, $527 to $650.
Okay.
The ROG Ally X, this is still the current one that's out. This is their premium model. Is currently $900. And everybody's forecasting the ROG Ally 2 to be starting at $650 and ending up somewhere north of $1,100.
Okay, that's wrong because the ROG Ally X is the Xbox one.
Then why can't I buy it right now?
You tell me. Oh, it's Xbox Ally. What? That's lame.
Yes, you got to change your naming of it. Again, these are the new ones are the ROG Ally 2X and 2S.
That's stupid.
That yes.
What I had saw was that the Xbox Ally X was going to be 900 and the Xbox Ally was going to be 700.
At those specs, that's too low for a handheld.
I'm sorry?
At those specs, that's too low for a handheld. For what the current pricing market is for a handheld gaming computer, that's too low.
You think $700 is too low?
I'm not saying I would spend that much. I'm saying compared to its market, that would be the low end of the market.
Where I can go buy a Steam Deck for as low as $400 and max out at $650. You think that's too low?
We're talking completely different speeds. Steam Deck has not updated since they came out. They only have an OLED screen at the highest end now. Your high end is still fine. It's your low end that I think is too low. I think your price is going to be higher than where you're at. Because, I mean, the ROG Ally 7-inch, 120 hertz. This is the base model.
Mm-hmm.
Not the old one, but the current one is $650.
Yeah.
So, like I said, where you're at, you're on the low end already. You're gonna be bumped up a little bit higher. The 2023 version is $500.
No, we'll see.
Yeah, I don't intend to buy it at all.
We may get one for Lynn. Maybe if they're like super affordable.
They're not going to be.
I know they won't be, but.
And I don't know if it would be used enough for me to recommend it. Coming from somebody who has a big paperweight at this point.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so the thought process is behind it is that we pay for Game Pass Ultimate, right? So we have Game Pass Ultimate on it. Yeah. We only have one TV. So if she's home with me and I'm playing games, but she wants to play games, she can't. So the idea behind that is she plays games on it. And that's realistically the only use that we would get out of it.
I get that, but my question is, and that's what I'm going back to their website to try to find the answer real fast. My understanding from the other consoles is you would only be able to download the PC version of games. The rest would be streamed.
Okay.
So unless you have good internet, it's not great. Because even a Steam Deck here with good internet, it's not great.
Yeah.
But let me before I fully commit to that, give me a minute while I'm scrolling through. Gives you access to your full PC games from Xbox and other game stores. So yes, again, it's just a handheld PC that has the Xbox button now built onto it.
Yeah.
So it looks like maybe they'll have xCloud built more into it.
That's my understanding, is that xCloud is built into it.
But again, unless you have good internet, xCloud means nothing.
Okay, counterpoint though to that.
Mm-hmm.
What games nowadays are being added to Game Pass console that aren't on Game Pass PC?
Well, at least for mine, for my Steam Deck, quite a bit.
For your Steam Deck?
Again, correct. But again, that's the line we have to look at. I'm not entirely sure on that. But yeah, I can't confirm if you're gonna be able to download more of the Xbox games onto it. It sounds like it's just gonna be a PC handheld with Xbox integrated.
Yeah.
But keeping with video game stuff, we're going to jump into this guy from That Park Place. The Stop Killing Games movement gained support from big-time influencer and gaming industry veteran. The Stop Killing Games campaign is picking up serious momentum as two of the biggest voices in gaming, YouTube titan PewDiePie and former World of Warcraft team leader Mark Ken, publicly threw their support behind the growing global effort. The movement, founded by Freeman's Mind creator Ross Scott was launched in response to game publishers quietly shutting down online services for purchased games. Having a hard time again. Rendering them unplayable even in single player mode. The most prominent example remains The Crew, which Ubisoft removed access to in April 2024, despite players having paid for it. So PewDiePie said, thank you all for amazing support on my recent videos. I love how I can just nerd out and share whatever with you guys. In the comments, I've seen some of you mention stop killing games. I wanted to say I 100% support this movement. It ties perfectly with what I talked about in my video. Ownership over software and the games we buy. Strong encouragement to sign a petition. Takes 30 seconds. If you're outside the UK or EU or UK, you can't directly sign, but sharing it still helps. And then the Swedish creator encouraged fan. That's that one. And then Gurmid's 700k signatures. Keep going. Stop killing games. So Justin didn't know what this is. So to kind of go ahead and give a kind of quick talk over it. The idea is currently when you buy a game, and especially like The Crew is the best example. It was a online centered game. And the idea was, hey, you could race across the world, you could race your friends, you could jump on. People would always be playing there. I don't know if the game was ever even busy. Yeah. And so when Ubisoft closed it, well, cool, it's a racing game. You can play solo player racing games on your own for all eternity. There's no problem with that. However, being that the entire game is set online, it meant you lost your access to it. The Stop Killing Games movement is trying to do is make it that games in that case that would be easy enough to do this before they close, they either have to make it well known ahead of time, let everybody know, not just silently close it and just people go to play and all of a sudden they can't play, or send out an update and such in order to let it players can then just play locally. Yes, that takes away part of the features of it, but hey, you bought the game, you should be able to play the game you bought. Your thoughts?
I mean, we discussed this a little bit beforehand. I agree with it, right? I do agree with the movement.
Okay.
Because it's just kind of scummy not to. But in all honesty, the pool of these games is rather small. It is a small percentage of games that are impacted by it.
But I am going to do a little bit of pushback on that thought, because we are getting more games through like the Steam store that they're single player games, but they are required to play through their servers.
Mm-hmm.
And so if this were to go into effect, well, if this not go into effect, even these just single player games that you legitimately bought just to play on your own, you knew there was no multiplayer, the publisher just randomly decides, hey, nope, I'm done. I shut down, or I went bankrupt, shut down, and you've lost everything. So your $70 is out the table.
Like
the
what?
wall.
Recently?
Recently, I cannot say, but I know there is one in development. It is Everlight. It realistically straightforward. It looks like a Undertale clone.
Okay.
But it is being built with a service game mindset.
Mm-hmm.
So the entire, even though it's a solo player game, there is no online. Every person will buy the game. They'll download to their computer. What?
Hold on. You said Everlight?
I'm trying to remember what it is, but my Steam app is not loading. Because why would it right now? Maybe not Everlight. What is it? I only know of it because of a different video I was watching earlier. I was doing research into this whole topic.
Mm-hmm.
And the creator behind it's kind of scummy. At least it seems that way. I'm not seeing it right now, and I'm drawing a blank. Yeah, I would have to go back and pull it up from the video I was watching. And the video I was watching, the creator doesn't necessarily use the kind of language we use here. So I cannot pull it up right now. I just know it's been stuck in production for like ever. But like, SimCity, the newest
Oh yeah.
from EA.
Yep.
That's another one. And once the servers were turned off, I think they came back on because enough people complained. Couldn't play it. I still paid $70 for the game.
Yeah.
But that's another example. There's no reason that game could not be a local game.
Yeah.
And so on the console side, we're not seeing it as much. Right now, this is more a PC thing, but we're getting more console games slowly integrating to it. Make sense?
Yeah.
And I mean, I know some creators have gone out there and, oh, well, what are they going to do? Make World of Warcraft, downloadable, playable? No, that's not what this is talking about. Obviously, a MMORPG is a MMORPG. Once it goes offline, we all understand that. But if we're spending, $70 to play the newest Forza, which is primarily online, when the servers go off, I should still be able to play my Forza on my console, which currently you can. That's not a great example, but that's a example. And so, if you want to support it, StopKillingGames.com in the European Union or UK. We cannot help it. We do not live in the European Union or the UK. I would sign it, though, if I could. It doesn't hurt. One of the pieces that we did talk about in the pre-show was in a clause for, like, your mini pets and such for World of Warcraft. There is a clause in there that says they can just delete it for no reason. That's not good. That's not the kind of consumerism we should be looking for. Yeah.
Yep.
Over at Disney Cruise Line news today, the sheriff officer updates statement about the girl who fell over at the Disney Cruise Line ship. So, in case you didn't hear, over the weekend, a girl fell from the 4th deck off the Disney Dream. Her dad then dove in after her, treaded water for about 20 minutes. Disney Cruise Line picked them up, got them back to the ship, and that's where we're going to jump into this article. That was the quick catch up to there.
Okay.
Initially, it was being reported that the dad had set the girl on a railing to take a picture. This was the initial reports. The sheriffs have come back and disputed that. In the most recent statement from this afternoon from the BSO has now updated their description of what happened during this incident. According to their new statement, a 5-year-old girl lost her balance while sitting on a railing and falling backwards through a porthole. Along the deck 4 walkway, there are some large portholes. I do have a video, so we can look at these real quick. As well as more standard railings. Like the railing, the portholes have some short barricades to keep guests from leaning too far over, but they do not cover the whole porthole, in the upper section is open. The new statement also added, after the girl's mother alerted her husband, who didn't see the incident, and this is confusing me too, like, how didn't you notice? But whatever. He jumped into the ocean to save his daughter. The rest of the statement follows most of the eyewitness information from our previous article. Again, he jumps in, gets her, he treads water for about 20 minutes. Group picked them up and saved them. The father and daughter were both checked by the ship's medical staff, and then they were both transported to a hospital by the Broward Sheriff Fire Rescue once the ship arrived in Port Everglades. The father has been hospitalized. They're not giving out information on the family. Family does not live in the state. That's all that matters there. Now, like I said, I have a video.
This video?
Ish. What I was questioning is Justin and I have been on quite a few Disney ships. We've seen our fair share of them. I was questioning how.
What portholes are they talking about?
That was the biggest thing I was questioning, because I haven't been on the Dream, so I didn't know that exactly. So this is coming from Busy Bee Chronicles. They did a deck by deck walk tour of the ship. I was trying to find these portholes. So as you can see here on the side, this is the way the normal railings are on Disney. You have the railings, but you have glass in between to ensure kids cannot climb up these. That is the purpose of them. You still should not lean over them. You definitely should not go over them. It is not safe. From deck 4, they are lucky they both survived. He is hospital at the moment, but this is not a very safe thing. So they're gonna come walking down. They're gonna walk by these doors. Okay.
Yep.
That's gonna be right here on this back section here.
Okay.
We're gonna, in fact, come over here to our speed, and we're just gonna drop it to half. That is the portholes.
Okay.
That's a pretty high distance for a, I believe, 4-year-old to have climbed up.
Yeah.
Without the parents noticing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm grateful that everybody survives this, but that's a big distance.
Yeah.
But so supposedly she climbed up and she was sitting here on the railing, and then she fell backwards, which there probably is cameras here, so they probably have seen this. She fell backwards into the ocean from here.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't let your kids climb on railings of cruise ships. Lots of people go missing every year. Cruises are safe as long as you don't do. How do I put that nicely? As long as you're safe. There we go. That's the way to word that. Yeah.
The rules, man.
Just follow the rules. It's clear. Legitimately. That's the smoking sign. Hold on. Nope, that's the smoking sign also. It's posted on these walls also. I don't know if I can find one at the moment. Come back. Ads. Oh well. But no, it's legitimately posted there. They tell you over and over again. And common sense.
Yeah.
You're kind of over the middle of the ocean. You good?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if you were trying to pull something real fast.
No, I have it pulled up.
What's pulled up?
I said I have it pulled up.
When does it need to go?
I sent it in private chat.
Oh.
Where are you looking?
It's behind my light. You gotta make things difficult, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Using our chat. Uh-huh.
Oh. Okay. Moving right along. So after that awkward section, we're going over to the Hollywood Reporter. Where they
Pepsi, apparently. Not
It's
us.
sponsored by, not us. No, Pepsi is good. I think Coke's better though. In all honesty,
Not sponsored.
not sponsored, but all honesty, I think Coke's better.
Taco Bell has changed me.
The last place I worked at that I could get free drinks was had Coke. So I mean, all right. Inside Elio's catastrophic path to America's Vieira's exit, directors change and the array. Like I don't even know what that's supposed to say. Thank you. Of queer themes. To those who worked at Pixar, hold on. Disclaimer. This is not necessarily our views. We are just sharing the article because this is an interesting look at how things changed. We are talking about the facts of it, or at least the facts that the Hollywood Reporter have, not the opinions of it. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. It is the Hollywood Reporter, so they're usually pretty neutral in their reports, but that is just a disclaimer. Those who worked at Pixar while its latest film release, Elio, was in production, were delighted by footage they saw roughly 2 years ago. Among the moments cited as favorites by those at the animation studio at the time included a sequence in which the particular boy collected trash on a beach and turned it into a homemade apparel that included a pink tank top. The movie's theme would refer to Elio showing this off to a hermit crab as his trash island show. This is why he has the cape. It is a remnant of it. But if you bought a ticket to Elio and don't remember seeing this, it's not just you chose the wrong time to refill your soda. According to multiple insiders who spoke to Hollywood Reporter, Elio was initially portrayed as a queer-coded character, reflecting original director Adrian Molina's identity as an openly gay filmmaker. Other sources say that Molina did not intend the film becoming a coming-out story, as the character is 11, but either way, the characterization gradually faded away throughout the production process as Elio became more masculine following feedback from leadership. Gone were not only such direct examples of his passion for environmentalism and fashion, but also in a scene in Elio's bedroom with pictures suggesting a male crush. Hints at the trash fashion remain in the released film, with the boy wearing a cape decorated with discarded cutlery and soda can tabs, although without any explanation for the unusual attire. Elio's turbulent ride began well before its calamitous nosedive at the box office during the June 2020 to 2022. 20 to the second 20 to the 22nd corridor. Indeed, the summer of 2023 became fateful one for the animated film about a lonely boy beamed into outer space by an intergalactic organization after being misidentified as the Earth's leader of Earth. The writing was first on the wall for the troubled production. When the film from Molina, known as the co-director of Pixar's Oscar-winning 2017 hit Coco, conducted an early test screening in Arizona, although viewers expressed how much they enjoyed the movie, they were also asked how many of them would see it in a theater, and not a single hand was raised, according to a source with knowledge of the event. I'm going to stop and talk about this line, though. Okay?
Yeah.
If they did a test screening and all the viewers expressed how much they enjoyed the movie, why would none of them want to have seen the movie? I'll read it again to you.
Yeah.
Although viewers expressed how much they enjoyed the movie, they were also asked how many of them would see it in a theater, and not a single hand was raised, according to a source. I'm more
the phrasing that I read, that I had read through a different source, said that the question was, how many of you would pay to see this movie?
Yes, but in either case, if you are being brought in as a test audience, if you were happy with the movie and you liked it, why wouldn't you have said you would have paid for it?
Yeah.
I think the interview they did, whoever the person they are interviewing in this, then they were talking to, I don't think they, well, I know because I know more of the article, that they were exactly thrilled about the changes and they prefer the first version. And so in their minds, yes, it was a great and everybody loved it. But again, if not a single person was willing to spend money on it, that means you have, in the nicest way I can put this, a bad film.
Yeah.
This sounded alarm bells for studio brass, which obviously it would. It was around the same time that Molina screened his latest cut of the film to Pixar leadership. There are different accounts of the exact feedback that the director received from Pixar boss Pete Docter when the lights went up, with rumors circulating in some of the studio circles that Molina was hurt by the conversation. The part that is clear is that Molina exited the project soon after, and much of Elio was reworked under the new co-directors Madeleine Sheriff and Domi Shi. After a year-long delay, the film arrived in theaters June 22nd and bombed with just $20.8 million domestically, the lowest opening frame at the box office in Pixar's history. Quote, I was deeply saddened and aggravated by the changes that were made, end quote, says the former Pixar assistant director Sarah Ligatek, who provided feedback during Elio production as a member of the company's internal LGBT group, Pix Pride. Although she praises Seraphan and She as filmmakers, Ligatek notes that a number of creatives working on the film stepped down after the directors shared their first cut of the movie. The exodus of talent after that cut was really indicative of how unhappy a lot of people were that they had to change and destroy this beautiful work. Another Pixar source disputes this, that people stepped down in response to it. So, again, I think there are a few or a set of the team that was thrilled about it, the initial version of it. And I think they're the ones who are being most outspoken right now, saying of how bad it all went because of the changes. It would have been better. But again, right here, they make it clear. Another source of Pixar disputed that statement and said, no, not that many people actually left the project. Again, at the end of the day, it's a job.
Yeah.
The changes to Elio were clear to one former Pixar artist who worked on the film and asked to remain anonymous. Quote, it was pretty clear through the production on the first version of the film that studio leaders were constantly standing down these moments. We're constantly standing down these moments in the film that allude to Elio's sexuality being queer. Not long after the final 2023 screening of Molina's cut for Pixar's Brass, the company announced internally that Molina would take a break from the project, leading to a period of inactivity for those working on the film. Sources tell the Hollywood Reporter that Molina was informed shortly thereafter that Seraphin, who wrote Pixar's 2020 short Burrow, and the storyboard artist for 2022's feature Turning Red and Elio, would be elevated to director. Molina was then given the opportunity to direct Elio with Seraphin, but after numerous notes and changes to his original vision, he decided to leave the project. A short time later, Pixar announced internally that she would be the co-director, who was the co-writer of Turning Red. And during the summer of 2024, Doctor told The Wrap that Molina left Elio to move on to an unnamed priority project, which then was later on to be announced Coco 2.
Okay.
It's kind of convenient how the timing all worked out. Be it he left because of that or what, we can't say for a fact. We are not him. Quote, suddenly you remove this big key piece. What did I miss? Yeah, there's nothing before it. Suddenly you remove this big key piece, which is all about identity at Elio, just becomes totally nothing, says the former Pixar artist. I do want to point out Former is in there, which means either they left or they caused enough of a stink that they were let go. The Elio that is in theaters now is far worse than Adrian's best version of the original, adds another former Pixar staffer who worked on the film. The character Elio was just so cute and so much fun and had so much personality. Now he feels much more generic to me. Still, the film that has released in theaters earned solid reviews, sporting a 81% with critics on Rotten Tomato, along with a cinema score A+ for viewers under 25. In her review, The Hollywood Reporter critic Augie Han calls the film perfectly nice kiddie sci-fi adventure. I don't think you necessarily need to go deeper into much more of that.
I don't think so.
That's the bread and butter of it. Again, it really sounds like the film was not working. Again, they had a whole theater that said they would not spend money on it. It sounds like they decided to make all these changes to try to make it a little bit more fun. Yes, more kiddie, but more fun. The director didn't like it. Some of the former staff didn't like it. They left the project, or they were let go for the project. They came out with a movie. The movie's scoring very well. Like that for Pixar right now, an 81 by Rotten Tomatoes. That's really good.
Yeah.
An A+ on A Cinema. That's really good.
Yeah. It just wasn't marketed.
No. It didn't have money to. It's well over its budget.
Yeah.
The last I saw was it ended up being close to 300 million.
Yeah. I haven't even seen it.
I haven't seen it yet either. I need to go see it because I want to do a review of it. I'm gonna do this real quick. This was not on the docket, but now my curiosity has gotten the best of me. Where are we going? What?
I just thought of the idea. I thought of the title idea for that review video.
What?
We're late, but so was the movie, so it's okay.
Okay, I like it. The numbers, because we always end up on the numbers. This is the domestic weekend chart for the weekend of 27th. Fast F1, the movie, was number 1. How to Train Your Dragon, number 2. Elio, number 3.
Oh, shoot. Jurassic World comes out tomorrow.
It does. That is correct.
That dinosaur movie. It's still in its projected. It's actually...
It's towards the top high end of it. 46 million domestically, 30 million internationally. Let's see, pre-sales 3 million, 8 million, 15 million, 20 million, 23 million, 20. Oh, that's total. I'm like, that's a really big job. What the hell? 3, 8, 6, 5, 2. This is the weekdays. 3.8, 2.4, 2.6. Jump back to 3.2. 4.1 for a Saturday. It's sitting pretty consistently.
It hasn't released in China yet.
That's not going to help it at this point.
Well, I'm just surprised it is releasing in China.
But no, for a kiddie movie that has a horrible marketing run, that's sitting pretty consistent with its numbers.
Yeah.
So I think we might see an elemental thing that this is just going to sit in theaters till the end of dawn, and it will catch its money. It's just going to take a very long time to do so.
Comparatively to Elemental, it hasn't released worldwide yet.
That is true.
So we could see it do great internationally.
Yeah,
good.
This is actually very surprising. I did not expect.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be doing that well either.
South Korea is its bestseller internationally, though.
That does not surprise me.
Followed up by France. It's selling in China. What are you talking about?
I read it wasn't starting until the July 31st.
Because I see a box office of 2.6 so far for China.
Okay. Never mind then. Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, it's not going. I don't think it's going to make its money back, but it is holding its own.
Yeah,
it's going to fall off the charts this weekend with Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah, everything is.
But yeah. Keeping with animation though. Discussing films shared on Warner Brothers did too. I just didn't pull it from Warner Brothers. The Cat in the Hat animated movie. Question for you. How did Warner Brothers get the rights to do the animated Cat in the Hat when Universal's had the rights to the Dr. Seuss brand for the longest time? And Illumination?
I just put that together. I just put that together.
I was like, I legitimately saw this and I was like, wait, why is Warner Brothers doing this project? When did they get the rights?
Wait, did they have the rights for... No, Universal did. Never mind.
For which one?
For 2001 with Mike Myers.
No, that is definitely...
No, it's Universal. It's Universal because they make the joke about Universal Studios.
Well, that's just... Hold on. The Cat in the Hat, you said the 2001?
Yeah.
2003.
Oh, that was close.
Let's see, IMDb 4.1. Yeah, that's about right.
What? No. It's like a 7.
Yes.
It's like a 7.
No. No, it is not a good film. It's funny. I will watch it. I will sit down and watch it almost any time, but it is not a good film. Who is your company? You have a big brand? You have to have a big brand. Wait, I just saw it. It's not.
It's Universal.
No, no, it's not.
It's introduced.
Oh, Universal's.
Internationally by DreamWorks.
Universal and DreamWorks. I saw DreamWorks is what I saw.
Yeah.
Weird that DreamWorks did a live action film.
They produce it and publish it internationally.
Gotcha. But yeah, so Warner Brothers of all companies is doing this one this time, so we'll see how that goes.
I've only seen like the little ads that say trailer out now. That's all I've seen.
That's all I've seen. Yeah, I'm actually kind of excited about this movie.
Yeah, I think it's the art style.
Well, because it's interesting because we have
it's like more 2D here.
Well, yeah, we have the fun like 2D art style here,
like bright, vibrant colors, and
while we're in this like Imagination Institute or whatever it's called, and then once we get into the
hop to the real world, and it's like bland. And I think that's gonna have to do a lot with like the theme of the film of like imagination being like vivid and such, and the real world's boring.
Well, it's also the fact that we switched into more of the 3D like Maya face sculpts and such. We go away from
modern 3D animation. Yeah.
Once we go into the real world, that's interesting. It's such an interesting twist of the like art styles.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah. What do I think of Cat?
What do you mean? Why are you asking me? It's your opinion.
I don't like this design of him.
I think it's fine.
I think it would grow on me. I think it looks better. And so that maybe I think this looks better
the
when
elongated one. Yeah.
And he's in the 3D design.
Yeah.
So I think they started here to find out where they were going. And unfortunately, this was like
I think it's just that angle.
All right, let's go to where he's not opening the box. This is a funny gag. I love this gag.
There's a lot of slapstick comedy in this,
which is great. I'm okay with that.
I'm more than happy with that.
Yeah, maybe it is that angle because like he looks better here.
Yeah.
But like all of these designs, they feel like they would have come straight out of a Dr. Seuss film.
Yes. Yes.
Or Dr. Seuss book. These all look appropriate. These all look correct. Which is so hard because of how weird of a design space they are.
Mm-hmm.
The maze. This is a good trailer.
Yeah, this is a really good trailer.
I want to see though. How many things did we end up having? We have 1 and 3.
I saw at least number 16. Uh-oh.
I also like that this time around the things are all different character designs.
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Okay, 15.
So there's 13, 18.
Oh, okay.
But again, yeah, like these 3 are copy paste.
Where's 2? Unless that's 2 with the mustache and the glasses in the back.
Oh yeah, because we can't see his number.
Yeah.
Just think of all the hijinks. That's fun.
Yeah.
I'm okay with this project.
Yeah, I like this actually.
These are the kind of things we need out of like animation projects. So something you go so far over the top that it just becomes stupid fun. We'll see if the movie's actually good. I hope so because the trailer's really good.
Yeah.
And I will go see this one.
Yeah, I will go see this one. Probably with my mom.
Yeah, your mom would probably enjoy this one.
Yeah.
WDW News today. This is just kind of a preview for where we're going to be going and not where we're going, but what we're going to be doing soon. The next earnings call has been announced. It is on August 6th. That is a
Wednesday, August 6th.
Okay. So we will be doing our show in the evening, which means we'll be just listening to it after it all happened and then responding to that. I'm going to ask you now. Do we get live Bob Iger on it?
Oh, God, no.
Or is it all just going to be pre-recorded answers to very vague questions?
It's going to be pre-recorded.
Yeah. They should be discussing at that point the numbers from it.
Yeah.
If it did well. Or it's going to be like Snow White, they're just going to bury it in a hole real fast and just brush over and move on.
I don't care, man. This one's going to be fantastic. You could say super fantastic, even.
I could say it's going to be a movie. I don't know if it's good. I know you're excited. I'm excited for you. I'm hoping it's going to be good. Keeping with it though, the test track, the version 3 opened up for previews and such, and the vehicle reportedly hit the doors during the cast member previews. In case you don't know, the last section when you go to test on the old version, test speed on test track, the car stops right here. It does a quick countdown. It rushes towards these walls. The walls then open up, and you go right through out to the outside section. First things first, I want to say this new design of this room, because that's projections. So the hovercrafts and such are actually flying. This is a great design.
I haven't watched the ride through yet.
I have. Okay. It's okay.
Yeah, to be expected.
It's not as good as I was kind of hoping for, but I think it's better than 2.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't like 2. So
a test track ride vehicle reportedly struck doors that failed to open during the in time during the cast member previews of the updated attraction. Reportedly, a test track car hit the doors of the ride cinematic scene during a preview on Monday, June 30th. The doors are made of breakaway foam in case of this exact incident. Once they slide open, riders are transported outside to the track portion of it. Following the incident, Disney is currently leaving the doors open, which we confirmed during another preview on Wednesday. We don't know how long the doors will remain open. Cast member previews are going on for another week, followed by annual pass holder, Vacation Club, and Golden Oak and Club 33 previews. So at this moment, that's how the space looks. It's going to be bright like that because the doors are being kept open in order to ensure that the cars don't hit it, because that can damage the cars, but also, even though it is breakaway foam,
it can harm
the
guests.
high-speed impact can hurt guests. Our video below, taken during Monday's preview before the incident, shows how the doors are supposed to slide open. Vehicle reaches it. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this for a quick second. I'll pull that section up. I believe it's right around this next corner. Full. So this is going into the corner.
Yeah. Whoa!
Like this is a good shot. And so you speed towards it, and the doors are supposed to slide away. But even here,
it looks slow, right?
It looks super slow. These doors used to move a lot quicker.
I remember you zoomed through this tunnel. You used to, at least. Or you
like you're getting the doors are slow because like you're getting you got really close to the edge of this.
Yeah.
So this mechanism must just be having problems.
Yeah.
The doors not only make for a dramatic moment as guests race towards them and then into the outside track, but also mitigate sunlight that would affect the projected visuals in the room. So this cool upgrade looks good. Hopefully they'll get the doors figured out, but positive parts along it. I see we have a comment. Dominique Thorne, Ironheart is a good show to me. I understand if people don't like the show, that's okay. Everybody isn't. We haven't gotten to our discussion of it. The show's. I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there. The show's okay. Jurassic Park Rebirth is going to make money at the box office for Universal Pictures. It's Jurassic Park. It's the only reason these films are still being made today. It's because as bad as they are, they will always make money. Grown men will pay to go see dinosaurs. They don't care how many times they've seen the same dinosaur.
That's me.
Over at Blog Mickey, improved third person of Donald Trump's audio animatronic has appeared. And apparently new golf props debuted also in the Hall of Presidents. I didn't hear that part until this moment. So, way back when Trump first won the presidency, this was his first sculpt. This looks really bad. The rumor at the time was they had previously sculpted the face for Hillary Clinton, expecting her to win. She did not, so they reused it as best as they could. And after I heard that rumor later on and looked back at it and still looking back at it, I see Hillary Clinton.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
When Joe Biden then won the presidency, Trump was moved into the back, like all current presidents are. They did update the sculpt. This looked much better than the first one. It doesn't look great, but it at least looks more like Trump. But since then, the traction has been down for a 7-month refurbishment at this point, I think it is.
Which is typical every 4 years.
It is. Everybody was surprised it took so long because everybody expected us just to get this version moved back to the front.
Yeah.
But no, instead, Disney went ahead and they did a resculpt. This sculpt looks great.
It looks phenomenal.
This looks so good. This looks correct. The toupee looks good. But yeah,
that shot right there. Like, if I didn't know that this was the Hall of Presidents, I would have believed that was really him.
Yeah, that's a good look.
That's a great.
But then also some new props in. So one of Trump's golf clubs and some golf balls also have made their way into the Hall of Presidents.
Okay. On like the little table where they always have like their things.
Yeah, because again they have the displays the whole way around of like different pieces that the presidents along the time or their families have donated to the Hall presidents.
Yeah.
But we got, for a quick second, a low quality. This was from Showcase of Wishes on Twitter. It's the same speech as always because it's the swearing in of the president. He looks good. People were making the comments that they kept the whole thumbs up thing the whole way through. They didn't. His hands are correct. His hands are moving good. He looks good. This is a good looking audio animatronic. I honestly thought at this point we were going to go ahead and have a new version of the show, just so they didn't have to keep reworking this section. But looks like no, we just went back to the show. It works. Cool deal. He's the president. And again, good job Imagineering. Your sculpt looks great.
Yeah.
Been a while since I've said that. Though, I will say, most of the Tiana sculpts look really good. I will give that. And Lewis looks fantastic. Too bad his skin breaks continuously. Moving into our last article, which is going to lead into Justin's article. Or should it go the other way?
Should go the other way.
Well, then go for it.
Okay. So, had a little present from Marvel Rivals drop yesterday morning. We get the season 3 trailer. Are you ready, George? Are you ready to watch the season 3 trailer?
Okay. Make sure it's either mute or quiet, because every time you pull a video up, it always gets the video copyright struck.
Are you for real?
I always lose monetization whenever you go and any video you ever pull.
That's crazy.
But again, I also know I need to talk over it. So as long as you're talking, we're fine. Go for it.
Okay. I hear it.
I hear it. It's quiet. It's fine.
Okay. So, I don't know if we talked about season 2 on
we didn't
the show, but they're adding someone, George, that I think you like.
Oh,
yeah. So that's cool.
Yeah,
that's Hella, by the way.
No, I recognize Hella.
And they're adding him finally after being in the game for 7 months. We are finally getting Blade.
Man, what's what I want to play though?
So, well, I love this animation, by the way. This is brand new animation for these trailers, this 2D animation here. But Jean Grey Phoenix is releasing on the 11th when the season starts, and then Blade will be released in the mid-season. God, dude, I'm really excited for this. I mean, I always am. Brief little lore. Basically, Null, the god of symbiotes, has corrupted Hela to do his bidding. So we're going to Clintar, the home planet of the symbiotes, to fight them. In the battle pass, we're getting symbiote skins. So there's symbiote Jeff, and then Phoenix Force skins. For those who have, at one point in history or another, used the Phoenix Force. I think this battle pass is gonna rock. There is an image of it online. I can try to quickly pull up, but I might need you to stall for that. But
I can do that.
We're gonna look at the character trailer and the map trailer for Phoenix and for the new Clintar map.
I like Phoenix's design.
Interestingly, she's named Phoenix and not Jean Grey, which leads me to believe that we're going to get like skins
of other versions of Phoenix,
of other hosts of the Phoenix Force. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's a duelist. like 90% of the other characters, but she looks like a burst sniper almost that can switch to a frontline. It's kind of really cool. Like you put like stacks on them and then you shoot them and they explode.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And then comes her ult in this next one. You go to like first person and fly through people and then do a big explosion on the ground. And then you go back to where you casted it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I love her outfit too. Here. I love this design. And then like the face sculpt around the like mask sculpt around her like jaw and her cheekbone. It's phenomenal, dude.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then
it's kind of funny when you were talking to a third party doing better Marvel character designs at the moment.
Yeah. We could just mute this one because there isn't really audio. That way we don't get but hello. Sorry, I got excited. I sort of watched this. I watched this as soon as I woke up, so I was like groggy and I wasn't really paying attention. But this is the new Clintar map. As you know, we already have a Clintar map in the game. This is just our second one on the planet. That is part of the Phoenix Force, I believe. So we're going to retrieve it back, is my understanding, lore-wise. We'll find out more. I believe this sword is the Necro sword. So Gore the God Butcher's sword. George. The sword that can kill gods.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna back it up a little bit. This in the background, and then I think there's a better shot coming up, or we already saw it. I'll go back to it. But basically, this section of the planet is made up of a dead celestial.
Okay.
There was a right here. There's their hand.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, go ahead and buy you some time. Sticking with our Nintendo Switch stuff from Nintendo Live.
Are you for real?
Marvel Rivals dev net erase quote already in contact with Nintendo. About Switch 2. This was updated July 1st. Marvel Rivals game director Gunyin Chin recently provided an update to the website Video Gamer about possible Switch 2 release, noting how the team is still.
Guan.
What?
That's Guan.
Oh, thank you. Noting how the team is still, quote, in the process of obtaining the development machine, end quote. Once it's acquired, this NetEase intends to conduct a thorough evaluation and will make a decision. So at this moment, there is not a build for it. They are in talks of it. They're trying to get a dev kit. This game would run perfect on Switch 2.
I think so. I think it could run on Switch 2.
Like, I think Fortnite runs harder than Rivals does. You can play Rivals on legitimately like the original Steam machines and such. Like the thing.
The only
I didn't say great.
Yeah. Okay. The only thing I was gonna say, the only thing that makes me say no is the portals, because that chunks like top end PCs and like like even modern generation consoles.
Kevin Davids, understand people want to see DC Studios get a win right now. People will not see it enough at the theaters to be a box office success for Warner Brothers. I don't know. I think for all the marketing that Superman's doing, I think it's going to do well.
I think it's going to do well. I'm excited for Superman.
I'm excited for Superman.
I didn't think I was going to be excited for Superman. I was like, okay, I'm going to see it, right? Because it's the start of a new big franchise and I want to be part of that. And I've never given DC a true chance, so I do want to see it. But then like the first trailer came out and I was like, yo, this movie's going to be generational, I think. I think it's going to be crazy.
Fantastic Four First Steps will have nothing to prove for Marvel Studios, even if it stops at 600 to 800 million. That is a win for this franchise. Yes, as long as it's still profitable. We do not know what the budget is yet.
Yeah.
But I do think Fantastic Four is going to do well in box office. I just don't know if the movie is going to do well.
Yeah.
It could be financially well, but still be a bad movie.
Yes.
It could be a great movie and still financially fail. It could go either way, but
number one Fantastic Four fanboy here. I think the movie's going to be like a B+ at best, but it's still going to be financially like viable.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be a huge win. I think it's going to be successful.
Yeah.
And it's just going to set everything up and get them ready. But I don't know if it's going to build the hype it needs to be building. And that's what we're going to see.
Yes, I agree. I agree 100% with that.
People will wait to see original films from Disney or Pixar on Disney Plus. Agreed. However, I think people would go back to the theaters if they had something to go see.
It's the same problem that Disney was running into 25 years ago, where the Disney formula has been cracked now. Why would I pay $70+ to take a family of 4 to go see? I don't want to use this word because based on reviews, this is not my opinion. Slot movies when I can just wait to see it on Disney Plus 6 months later.
Yeah. Yeah. And like,
I'm already in this scenario. I'm already a dad of 2 who's paying for Disney Plus so my kids can watch Bluey. Why would I go spend $70 when I'm already paying for them to watch Bluey and we can watch that movie at home?
Yeah, but I do know from within that same period, if the movie was good or looked good and was being sold well, they would still see it. Like Lilo and Stitch.
Yes.
Like Frozen years later. Like
Princess and the Frog.
Toy Story 3.
Yeah.
Like if the movie looks good, families are willing to spend the money in the theaters, but they have to have something to see. Elio's, I think, biggest problem because of how well it's being rated is its marketing has been awful, and it's the same thing that happened, in my opinion, to Treasure Planet and Atlantis. Is that their marketings were so bad that nobody cared to go see them.
Yeah.
And Disney can sell you the shirt on your back, so why they couldn't sell this movie? They just didn't care to. They were just done with it. They wanted to get out of the project.
I have that image, by the way.
And yes, Superman looks good. Agreed. Thank you for being a member. What?
I have that image ready.
Go for it.
So as I was saying, symbiote skins and then Phoenix Force skins. As you saw in that image, we had Wolverine and Magic with Phoenix Force. So this is Emma Frost with Phoenix Force, and then symbiote Squirrel Girl, symbiote Rocket. So yeah.
Cool. It still wouldn't give me the buy the pass.
For you, I can see. For me, who plays the game like weekly, yeah. I'm getting this pass. I have all the other passes though. So
how are your other budgets doing?
What was that?
How are your other budgets doing?
Fine. I'm technically, because of the way
I'm giving you trash.
The way that this is, I technically don't have to pay full price because you get units back like Fortnite does. So I don't have to pay full price, which is good.
No. I figured I was legitimately just messing with you because I've talked to you and your wife. So I'm just messing with you.
The last time I purchased something on Marvel Rivals was the day of my wedding. I'll have you know. Over a month ago. I bought the Mr. Fantastic Wedding Day skin.
You did. Why am I not surprised? Anywho, that Park Place is where we're going to set up for our review of Ironheart. It's already ready. I already prepped it. Aha. Ironheart viewership ratings flop as Disney's Marvel show fails to chart with 3-episode premiere. We're not going to go ahead and look at necessarily the article pieces themselves. We are more so just
image. Sorry,
I cannot, but I can make it bigger with apparently all the ads.
Make the ads bigger too.
Hey. So
where's Squid Game? Oh, this cuts off the day before Squid Game comes out.
Yes. So we know Squid Game did well because it's Squid Game.
Yeah.
However, we can see the Mobland at the very bottom had 260.8 million minutes watched. This was a 3-episode premiere. They did the math for us. That is means all 3 episodes of Ironheart combined drew less than that number, putting its per episode average under 86.9 million minutes. And each episode being about an hour long. That's not great.
That's not good.
That's not good. The whole purpose that Disney's done these 3-episode drops before in the past is always to try to manipulate the numbers to be able to make it to a chart. And this show did so good it didn't make it to the chart with 3 episodes.
Yeah.
We'll see if it does it this week.
No.
Because now all 6, but I don't think. Well, but again, there could have still been the difference of the 2 is 266, I think it is, compared to 260. So it is still possible it could chart onto 10. I'm not holding my breath.
I think so.
But that does lead us into our reviews. So the synopsis for episode number 4.
Knowing that Robbins is on her trail, Riri analyzes the hood piece she recovered. Oh, this is coming from Wikipedia because I can't find any good synopsis on like other websites, by the way.
What?
I'm just gonna restart it. No, knowing that Robbins is on her trail, Riri analyzes the hood piece she recovered, which she discovers is an energy source for him. Zeke has been arrested for the cruise heist after being implicated by the biomesh left behind. He is resentful of Riri over it. Worried about her daughter and wanting to help, Ronnie brings Riri to her friend Madeline Stanton, a former Comertage trainee, and her daughter Zelma. The Stantons help examine the fragment of the hood and detect that it is from a dark dimension that is likely influencing Robbins. Before abruptly ushering Riri and Ronnie out of the store, Ronnie shares her frustrations about Riri never opening up to her, and Riri departs after pushing her back. Frustrated in her lack of findings with the suit, Riri meets up with Xavier, who is horrified by Natalie emulating his late sister's image. Natalie's offended and leaves, and Riri contemplates Xavier's demand to delete it. Robbins breaks Zeke out of jail to recruit him as Riri's replacement, and the crew assists his efforts to implant bionic enhancements in his body, albeit Slug secretly gives Robbins control. Robbins sends the crew to kill Riri, whom he blames for John's death.
Your thoughts of the episode?
What was that?
Your thoughts of the episode?
Comparatively to 5 and 6, it's boring. But it's all just set up for 5 and 6, so can't say a lot there. I would give it a 3.
Okay. I gave it a 2. I was bored. Fair. It's a fine episode. Again, I can say this across the series. The acting is fine. Everybody does fine.
I think there are standouts. No, I think there's standouts.
Really? Okay.
I think so. I think both the Hood and mystery character from episode 6 are standouts, like phenomenally.
Okay, I'll give you episodes. I'll give you the character for episode 6. The Hood, he has his moments, but most time I feel like
I'll give you that. It's not. He has really, really good moments, and then the rest is just okay. And I do agree with that. I really do hope he comes back and he's not a one-off because they went, oh, this show didn't do well. I'm sorry, we can't have you back. I really hope that's not the case because I think there is a lot more. I'm gonna circle back around to this after we do the episode 6 synopsis. Okay.
Okay.
because I have a lot to say about the series as a whole.
Yeah, so this episode, I'm a 2. It was fine. Again, the acting is fine. I just didn't care.
Everything's just fine.
Everything's just fine.
Yeah. Fine.
Which that gives us a 5 out of 10. So legitimately put it directly in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
It is hitting whatever truck is coming down the street at this point.
Episode 5. Slug captures Natalie and Riri's suit. Riri meets up with Zelma, who believes that the hood came from Dormammu. The crew arrives to kill Riri, and she fends them off after sending Zelma away. While battling Clown, Riri tells her that Robbins had Clark killed before Natalie helps Riri escape with the suit. Still bitter, Natalie turns itself off, and Riri is attacked by Zeke, now enhanced with bionic implants that emit electricity. He dismantles Riri's suit and is about to kill her, but he changes his mind and spares her, advising her to leave the city instead. Riri asks her mother for help, but Ronnie confronts her for her obsession with her suit. Riri admits that she made the suit that could have helped save Natalie and Gary when they were killed. Ronnie and a returning Natalie decide to help Riri build a new suit in Gary's garage using the old car he and Riri were working on before he died. Zeke and Clown lie to Robbins about Riri's death, and Zeke rejects Robbins' proposal to join the crew full-time. Clown helps the crew discover the fabricated autopsy of Clark, and they accuse Robbins of having him killed. Robbins fires all of them in anger, which causes the hood's corruption to increase through his body through blackened veins. Parker forces Zeke to help him break into the home of his father, Arthur Robbins, who is the CEO of Artworks and has a controlling interest in all of the companies he and the crew had robbed. Arthur refuses to sign his contract at first, and Parker confronts him for abandoning him as a child before forcing to sign the contracts. Riri, Ronnie, Natalie, and Xavier help make the new suit, while Zelma helps empower it with the magic to resist Robin's powers, but it comes at the cost of Natalie's permanent deletion. I will mention, it doesn't state here, but the contract is basically the contract that Arthur Robbins, the Hood's father, that he's forced to sign is making it so that all of his possessions and money,
assets, wealth, and everything,
companies, everything he owns goes to the Hood.
Yeah,
is basically. Your thoughts?
First things first. We had a montage in episode 2. Okay.
Yep.
What was the montage for?
I don't remember.
How amazing all of these criminals were at everything they did, including killing. How does she single-handedly take them all down in a fight that feels very clunky the whole way through?
I don't know, man.
I was like, why did we establish your backstories at all if it did not matter? There were parts of it. I do not care for this episode. I was so bored. I was so back and forth. Again, I from the get-go, I was hung up on the fact, like, hey, you're all supposed to be like big murderers and such. You're all supposed to be really good at this. Why is a teenage girl kicking your butt? Legitimately, apparently a teenage girl in a kitchen is more threatening than everybody you murdered before.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
That was my first problem. The second, and I actually paused the episode for this. Okay? The using of magic to power the suit. I paused the episode and I first sat there going, huh? And then I was like, okay, maybe it's a comic thing. You know what? I can't criticize it. Maybe it's a comic thing. Nope, it's an arc reactor in the comics. This is a original design. Why?
Because they put the Hood in the show, so they have to deal with it with magic.
I legitimately think they set up who the villain was going to be in the show, and then realize and who the secret big bad is in the next episode, and realized, oh wait, we have no way to fight it. Magic solves all problems, so magical suit.
Yeah.
And again, we've been talking about up to this episode how she was, smarter and gonna do better than the Wakandans, than Pimtech, than Iron Man, and she relies on then just magic to do any of it. Like, it bugged me. Again, acting wise, everything's just fine. It's okay. Apparently, the entire show, the entire bad guy's backstory is just daddy problems, so cool deal. I much more prefer the Hood in other iterations than daddy problems Hood, but okay. That's a choice.
Yeah.
I gave it a 2.
2.5.
It was still... What?
2.5.
2.5. It was still fine. It's just not... It's very mid. I'm like, why do I care?
Yeah.
And even during this episode, I still have yet to, from episode 1, get a reason. Why do I like this character? What is the redeeming factor of this character? Up through this episode so far, she's been nothing but selfish. Everything she does is just for herself. And going through the next episode, spoiler alert, the character doesn't change.
Yeah.
I have no redeeming factor for this character. And I want to like this character. It's just, it's not good writing, in my opinion. The whole show, I think that's the biggest problem with the show is writing.
Starting episode 6. Years before, Robin's attempts to rob his father's mansion with John before escaping and splitting up, where he meets a hooded figure. The man assures Robbins that he can help him achieve his desires for power, respect, and wealth for himself. And Robbins accepts the deal and becomes the Hood. In the present... Okay, wait.
Yes, you're good.
Okay. Yeah, I was just making sure that the name drop is later on. In the present, Robin stands as the head of his family's business and mansion, although he only has a controlled Zeke as a companion. Unable to recreate Natalie, Riri resists her family and friends' advice and goes to Robin's to find answers through his hood. Feeling empty, Robbins meets up with the stranger and accuses him of not fulfilling his end of the deal, where the man replies that he had given what he needed. A direct quote, "I only gave you the tools to do what you need to do. I don't grant wishes," or something like that. Something really good. I remember that. Yeah. Riri arrives at the headquarters and battles a reluctant Zeke, who allows her to hit him in the crotch, where he can reset and be freed of Robin's control. Riri confronts Robbins and demands his hood, but he warns her that would cost her. But he warns her that what would cost her is not worth it. The two battle while Riri managing to take off Robin's hood, leaving him wallowing in a state of eternal pain. As she is about to leave, Riri meets the stranger, and the man introduces himself as Capital M Mephisto. Having observed her, Mephisto offers to revive Natalie with the same deal he offered Robbins, and Riri agrees, selling her soul to the devil. At her garage, Riri sees a revived Natalie and hugs her as the marks of Mephisto spread across Riri's skin. And in a mid-credit scene, Robbins asks Zelma for Supreme-like help.
What do you think of the portrayal of Mephisto? Hey.
What?
What do you think of the what'd I say? What do you think of the portrayal of Mephisto?
I kind of liked it.
So
it was a lot of up and down.
From everything I've seen so far, whenever I've looked it up, I've never seen in any of the comics or whatnot, and this is just me trying to do research today and like right now, where he's ever in a human form. It doesn't mean he can't be. He is Mephisto. I don't know. He's such an important character, and this feels like such a weird spot for him to first make his appearance. Like if this was a Strange or WandaVision or just Wanda show, or even Agatha, if he showed up in Agatha all along, that to me would make much more sense than Ironheart.
I mean, it does make sense for them to change the Hood from being Dormammu to Mephisto. That does make sense.
Yes,
but I don't know why it's in this show. I don't know why it's in an Ironheart show.
Here, okay, wait. So here's my question. Let's see. ChatGPT. You're always helpful. Ironheart comic villains. I'm just curious if there's ever a moment in the past where she's dealt with Mephisto, the Midnight Fire, or the Champion storyline, the 10 Rings, Lucia von Brad's, Tomo the Techno Golem, and Andre Sims. Other noteworthy threats is Animax, the mutant villain who creates the monstrous creatures from energy.
Yeah.
Armory, Doctor Doom as Iron Man.
Yeah.
And Hydra as AIM.
Yeah.
So no, she never. Again, this is just. It almost feels like this show. Now that we've seen the whole thing of it, we now talk the whole thing of it. This show is just here to establish characters they need to be in the MCU and in the area for the next movie.
I mean, that's kind of what they're going for.
Well, yeah, but
yeah, I agree.
It makes in the show itself like, does the show then matter?
Yeah,
I just need to know who's established in the universe. Because besides the fact that now Riri has magical abilities and now is working with Mephisto, what else is important from the show? What do we carry forward?
Yeah.
I mean, yes, now we see that the Hood is trying to recruit magic wielders or trying to take magic wielders, but he's not the Hood. He's Mephisto has his hood back, so
yeah,
he just kind of exists. He's a dude with magic abilities.
No,
but not even really magic abilities. He's just a dude.
He's just a dude now. Yeah, yeah. We'll see. I really hope they do find some way to bring the Hood back because I really like the Hood. I think his send off in this is kind of lame. But I do really like the Hood. I liked his portrayal. I liked his characterization. Everything here about him, I really liked. I liked everything in this show around everybody but Ironheart.
Yeah, because again,
to me, it was just kind of boring, except for everything else. Like I found the gang like interesting and fun, but like I found the magic kind of fun because like at first I was like, oh, they're just making stuff up now, and then I looked it up, and no, Zelma's part of Strange Academy.
She is, and so that was the change. Was they broke her from it.
Well, she actually leaves Strange Academy in the comics.
Oh, does she? Okay, yeah. I didn't see that part when I was doing.
Yeah, I looked it up. I saw it on the wiki. Yeah.
No, like there are pieces that show me somebody did some research into it.
Mm-hmm.
They had no idea how to attach all these characters into a show and make a show.
Yeah.
This was just, we need these characters to exist in the universe. We need these characters to exist in the space. We don't know how to make them all work together. So we're going to make a all-tech, computer-based superhero into a magic tech superhero.
Yeah.
Which is odd. We're gonna bring out, in my opinion, one of the bigger MCU villains, Mephisto, to just go ahead and have him make a deal with our tech user. Somebody that realistically, in other versions of Mephisto, he would not care at all about. He's always been gravitating to magic users. Magically, he's a magic user.
Yeah.
It's so weird, and like, I wanted to like it. I wanted things to be good. Again, all the acting in it is fine. I think Mephisto's acting, I think he's good. I love the like shifting of voices there towards the end of it, where he's just kind of going to his different accents and such he's using while he's talking to different people. Was a weird Ringo Starr drop.
Yeah.
I was like, why are we bringing Ringo Starr in with Mephisto? How does this connect? Like, is there some contract Disney has with Ringo that they like, oh wait, we can use the name without going ahead and being struck by him? Like, what?
Did you see the little Easter egg tease of what he's actually gonna look like?
I did not.
Let me pull it up. That's the wrong one. Oops. Here. So when he's stirring the spoon, there's this like little close up. You can see he has the like red makeup and like the white contacts and such. So they are going to go with a comic accurate design.
A comic more accurate design.
Yeah,
we don't know accurate yet.
It's just I think because these are like, if I had to describe it quickly, it would be similar to like the Mindscape, like in Multiverse of Madness, right? Where he's projecting these places into their mind, or like physically taking them there for some of them. But I think once we get to his realm and such, that's what he's going to look like. The weirdest part to me about this is the actor who's portraying him, and is obviously going to be the MCU actor from now on, because it has to be, right? You know Borat, right, George?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I recognized him.
I think that's a weird choice.
Yeah.
But like, he can obviously do it. Like, yeah. I think he was the greatest part of episode 6. So,
I mean, nothing happens in episode 6, so yeah.
Other than his scenes, yeah.
Yeah. Zeke. Do we see him in the future?
He's set up to be.
He's set up to be. I don't think so.
Maybe post soft relaunch. Maybe. Soft reboot.
All honestly, I think the reason he's set up to be is because I think the director full-heartedly believed he was getting a second season. I don't see this getting a second season.
I don't think so.
So I think it was being set up to be her first like main bad guy in her own like full-on show. But I don't think we're gonna get into that second season. I think he's just gonna be a character that just disappears.
Yeah.
Your score for the episode?
Gonna break the mold. I'm gonna go with a 4 on this one.
Wow. You're double mine.
Wow.
I'm still a 2 on this one. Legitimately, I was so back and forth, like what is going on in this show at this point? Okay. Let me say it this way. If this was like WandaVision, and again going into like episode 3, I would have given like a 2 and such. So still like, I don't get what's going on. Do I really care? Episode 4 made episode 3 turn into a 5.
Yeah.
Because episode 4 made everything build up making sense. This entire show has been build up. We got through the season finale of just build.
Yeah.
What was the point? Where were we building to? We weren't. We were just trying to get all the characters who needed to be here together, ready to go ahead and move forward. I'm kind of curious at this point if continuity is going to keep with this. So are we going to see, because I believe she's been announced already to be in Doomsday.
Not in official announcements.
Ironheart hasn't been announced yet?
No.
Okay.
Sure he was.
Yeah. My question is, are we going to keep the Mephisto setup of her like now being marked, or is she just going to go back like, oh wait, this show didn't exist?
I sure hope so, because that's like a really big thing that I was kind of a little dissatisfied with that. I'll be honest. Because we're seeing our titular character make a deal with the devil at the end of a season about dealing with grief and succumbing to that grief throughout the entire season, and she just makes a deal with the devil to have it over with. I thought that was kind of lame.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I'm supposed to be rooting for this character?
To me, that shows no growth.
Correct.
Yeah. So I think it's kind of lame.
Yeah. So out of 10, you know where that puts us for the season?
Probably 4.55.
5.4.
5.4.
Again, it's very middle of the road.
Yeah.
It's not bad enough to go ahead and like hate on it. It's not good enough to go out of your way to watch it.
Yeah.
If you're really incredibly bored, then sure. If you like the show, cool. Enjoy the show. Like, to each their own. We're just two idiots on the internet. But to me, this show is... We don't get any growth out of it. We don't get any updates really out of it, besides the fact that she's been kicked out of school. We have we have our hero, our main character we're supposed to be rooting on, who the show makes sure you have no redeeming factors for. You have a very, in the comic verse at least, important villain turn out just to be some dude in a cloak. And
are you saying the Hood?
Yeah.
The Hood is not important. The Hood's a C-list villain, George.
No, B.
Yes. No, he's a C-list.
I would put him B.
No.
We need to do a villains list at one point. I'd put him at B. I would fight for B.
We need to do more tier lists. We should totally schedule filming days for that.
We introduced Mephisto without him looking like Mephisto, which I'm okay with. I can get behind. But it's too little too late by the time we start to bring him in that there's nothing for us to grasp of it.
Yeah.
Legitimately, all we know is he likes pizza.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No.
We know how important and sentimental things are from her, stepdad and such, and so she gets back the car and she's so emotional about it to tear it apart and make it into a suit. We didn't have an answer without saying this character who's better than Tony Stark has a way to power his suit besides magic, since we couldn't give her the power source of Tony Stark.
No, it was already powered before. They just imbued the suit with magic. There was nothing. The magic did not power the suit.
No, the magic is the power of the suit, because they go over and explain that all of her regular power sources are dying when she tries to power the suit all the way on. They use the magic to give full power to the suit.
For real?
I am for real. The magic is the power source of the suit. I also went ahead and I was curious. I looked it up.
Mm-hmm.
In the comics, she never goes ahead and says that she's going to be better than Tony Stark. This is, again, another original thing, that how she's going to be this great, like, big hero and such. This is original to it. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay if you are going to build a character who's inspiring to be bigger than the person they're idolizing.
Yeah.
But then you can't just get to the end of it and go, oopsies, we didn't have an answer. Magic. You trying to look it up? You good?
The wiki has not updated yet.
The wiki has not updated yet. No, it's a quick line in it, because she goes and she tries to power it on, and all the breakers and such pop in the shop. So her mom opens the doors and turns it all on, and she makes the comment that she's like, I can make the suit, but I don't have a way to power it. And that's when all of a sudden they bring magic in, and she makes the comment, are you sure you want to do this? You know, there's a trade for taking magic. And yes, they use the magic as the power to the suit to solve the problems.
Okay.
Like, that's... I don't want to poke holes in a story, but that just doesn't make sense. That doesn't work. I don't like that. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to see... Well, I really don't think we're going to see a second season of the show.
No,
the numbers have been absolutely horrible on it. And every review I'm seeing is usually either it's not that good of a show, and this is with me filtering through reviews.
Yeah.
Either it's not too good of a show, or it's just mid, and there's not a reason to watch it.
Yeah.
And
it's like a B. It's like a B at best.
I would go C+ at most. I would put Agatha over this, and I did not care for Agatha. Agatha at least had some really dumb, fun episodes.
I would also. A Dookie Demon aside, I would also.
Do you think now that all 6 episodes are up, do you think it's going to make it to the streaming charts?
No, especially after this week with Squid Game. Not at all.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's just bad time. Well, at this point, I don't even want to... I want to say it's bad timing because it's coming out during the time of Squid Games. But at the same time, Disney dropped all 6 episodes in 2 weeks, meaning somebody at upper management was going, we have a problem. This is not going to do well. We just need this done. Who directed this?
3 different directors. It was like a typical TV show.
The directors of Disney Plus series Ironheart are Sam Bailey and Angela Barnes. Sam Bailey directed the first 3 episodes, while Angela Barnes directed the remaining 3. And then Ryan Coogler was the executive producer. I think that's also one thing about this is the first 3 and the second 3 don't really feel connected.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think the 2 directors actually sat down and discussed their vision to make a jointed vision. If you're going to split the project, that's fine. There's no problem with that. But you need to go ahead and work together and make sure you are on the same page.
Yeah.
Sam Bailey, director, producer, and writer. What are you known for? You're So Talented TV series. I got 6.9. Brown Girls, Dear White People, and Ironheart. Diary of a Future President, First Wives Club. I'm not recognizing any of these, which is fine. I mean, again, if you're the newer director, I mean, she's been directing since 2016, but that's all good. There's nothing wrong with that. But Okay, and then the other director was Angela Barnes. I'm just also curious. I'm trying to see if they did any projects together before this.
Oh.
Atlanta, Teenage Bounty Hunters, Loot, Will Trent, Killing It, Mythic Quest, One Day at a Time. Again, I still don't recognize any of these, which again, it doesn't mean anything. But no, it looks like this was probably their first project they actually worked on together.
Yeah.
Neither one, though, from what I'm seeing here, have ever worked for Marvel or Disney before. So this was their first time doing that. I think Coogler.
He directed the Wakanda, both Black Panther films. He did Sinners. He also made Creed. But he just produced this. He wasn't involved other than signing off on it, basically.
Yeah, because I know he did the special talking about how great this was and how good it's going to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, that makes me really curious behind the scenes how much he actually was involved or how much he was just like, I'm kind of here.
Yeah. I honestly think it was that second where I don't even think he was on set for these. He just had final sign off, I think.
Yeah. Because I know he is, because it's confirmed also, the producer or director. He is...
For what?
One second. Executive producer of Eyes of Wakanda.
Yeah, my understanding is that from like now on, everything Wakanda is going to go through him. And I'm okay with that.
I don't know, I'm not really crazy of the art style of what we're seeing for Eyes of Wakanda.
The footage that we saw at D23 was kind of good, though. Like, the action scenes are good. I don't know if there's any in the trailer. I haven't watched the trailer yet.
I don't have the trailer, but like, I'm not crazy about these like character designs.
What do you mean? There's a Viking. I'm excited.
I don't know. Anywho, it's a mid show, in our opinions. Do we have another show lined up? Do we have to do another show?
I don't think we have another show lined up. I don't think so.
Disney Plus the schedule coming soon. Oh, I have to wait till December for Percy Jackson. That's a bummer.
Agony. We will be reviewing that.
We will be reviewing that. I will be gladly watching that.
We will be reviewing that.
Roly Poly Oly. That's already out. Actually, no. That's coming soon. Apparently, Roly Poly Oly is not on Disney Plus yet. How is this a thing? But no, it looks like nothing. All episodes September, but that's a Star Wars thing. The Doomies eventually, whatever that is.
My understanding is nothing really.
Yeah, which I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Eyes of Wakanda, but I don't think that's until October.
That means we get a break. We can work on other projects. Keep going. If you made this part of the video, sure, like, subscribe. Until next time. See ya.
Bye. I didn't have it queued up because you were